Amazon is not just an e-commerce company, it is one of the most sophisticated logistics systems ever constructed. Most competitors try to compete with Amazon on price. Some attempt to compete on selection, but very few understand where the real advantage actually lives. Amazon's moat is physical infrastructure, and infrastructure is extraordinarily difficult to replicate. To understand Amazon's dominance, you have to stop thinking about it as a store. Amazon is a logistics network that happens to sell products. In its early years, Amazon relied heavily on third-party carriers, UPS, FedEx, the US Postal Service. That worked at small scale. But outsourcing delivery meant outsourcing control. Control over cost, control over speed, control over reliability, control over customer experience. If a package was late, the customer blamed Amazon. But Amazon did not fully control the system. That misalignment created a structural vulnerability. So Amazon began building warehouses, sorting centers, regional distribution hubs, long-haul trucking routes, cargo aircraft, last-mile delivery fleets. Over time, Amazon transitioned from being dependent on logistics networks to becoming one. This shift fundamentally changed its competitive position. Today, Amazon operates hundreds of fulfillment centers globally. But these are not simple warehouses. They are algorithmically optimized nodes in a predictive distribution grid. Products are positioned based on demand forecasting, purchase velocity, regional buying behavior, seasonal patterns. Instead of shipping every item from a central location, Amazon pre-positions inventory close to likely buyers. That reduces delivery distance. Reduced delivery distance reduces cost. Reduced cost allows faster shipping. Faster shipping increases customer expectations. Higher expectations increase Prime's perceived value. Prime increases retention. Retention increases predictable revenue. This is not accidental. It is structural flywheel engineering. Prime is often misunderstood as a shipping subscription. It is more accurately a behavioral lock-in mechanism. When customers pay for Prime, they change behavior. They default to Amazon search. They compare fewer competitors. They prioritize speed over minor price differences. Prime converts convenience into habit. Habit reduces friction. Friction reduction increases order frequency. Order frequency increases data. Data improves forecasting. Improved forecasting strengthens logistics efficiency. The network becomes smarter over time. Competitors cannot simply offer free shipping. They would need to replicate the infrastructure that makes it economically viable. That infrastructure is massive. Amazon now operates its own air fleet. Hundreds of aircraft move inventory between regions. This reduces reliance on commercial carriers. It also shortens replenishment cycles. Amazon has invested heavily in robotics inside fulfillment centers. Robotic picking systems, automated conveyor networks, AI-driven sorting algorithms. These systems reduce labor dependency and increase throughput per square foot. Higher throughput lowers unit costs. Lower unit costs allow aggressive pricing. Aggressive pricing reinforces customer loyalty. Again, this is structural advantage. One of Amazon's most powerful mechanisms is fulfillment by Amazon. Third-party sellers store inventory inside Amazon warehouses. Amazon handles picking, packing, shipping, and customer service. In exchange, sellers gain Prime eligibility and logistical efficiency. This creates dependence. Leaving Amazon means losing access to Prime traffic, optimized distribution, speed advantages. Amazon effectively centralizes the distribution layer for millions of sellers. The more sellers join, the denser the inventory network becomes. The denser the network, the faster shipping becomes. The faster shipping becomes, the more Prime grows. The cycle compounds. Most retailers operate with limited SKU depth per distribution center. Amazon aggregates massive SKU diversity across a unified infrastructure. This increases cross-selling efficiency. A customer ordering a phone charger may also add a kitchen appliance. Both items may ship from nearby nodes. Bundled fulfillment lowers per unit shipping cost. Lower cost improves margin efficiency. Amazon also built regional delivery stations specifically designed for last-mile optimization. Last-mile delivery is the most expensive part of logistics. By operating its own delivery service partners, Amazon reduces cost variability. It also gathers operational data at every stage. Data density becomes a strategic asset. Few competitors have both retail data and physical distribution data integrated at this scale. Amazon's infrastructure is expensive, but once built, it creates high barriers to entry. Competitors would need billions in capital expenditure, years of build-out, land acquisition, labor networks, transportation contracts, advanced software integration. And even then, they would lack Prime's behavioral lock-in. This is why price competition alone fails. You can lower prices temporarily, but without infrastructure, you cannot sustainably match delivery speed and reliability. Amazon's logistics model also allows inventory flexibility. During peak periods like holidays, Amazon can dynamically redistribute stock across regions. Internal capacity absorbs volatility. Retailers dependent on third parties face bottlenecks. Bottlenecks damage customer trust. Amazon reduces bottleneck exposure by internalizing control. That internalization is the moat. Infrastructure creates optionality. Optionality creates strategic flexibility. Amazon can expand into groceries, healthcare logistics, same-day pharmacy delivery, subscription replenishment, physical retail, because the backbone already exists. Most companies build businesses. Amazon built a system. The system supports multiple business lines. That is structural dominance. However, no system is invulnerable. Amazon's logistics empire depends on high Prime retention, consistent consumer demand, operational discipline, labor stability. If Prime growth slows significantly, network expansion becomes less justified. If regulatory pressures increase, cost structure may rise. If capital markets tighten, expansion slows. Infrastructure is powerful, but it is also capital intensive. Yet historically, infrastructure-driven models outperform asset-light competitors during scale wars. Why? Because once the system reaches sufficient density, marginal cost declines, and density compounds. Amazon does not compete store by store, it competes network by network. Competitors would need to build a parallel logistics ecosystem that requires time, capital, and organizational discipline. Few companies possess all three simultaneously. Amazon's real product is not merchandise, it is distribution certainty. Certainty reduces friction. Friction reduction drives frequency. Frequency drives data. Data strengthens forecasting. Forecasting improves logistics efficiency. Efficiency reduces cost. Cost reduction enables speed. Speed increases Prime value, and Prime locks in demand. That is the empire, not a store, a system, and systems are far harder to compete against than shelves.